January, and tomorrow I go back to work for the first time in just over 2 weeks off. I kept my shop open, but I've only been filling orders. I haven't done any client work, no nursing. I have obviously sent my nurses out through the agency, done their invoices, obviously answered the phone, general bits and pieces, but it's been so lovely to have a big break. But it's made me a little glum because it's meant that I am fully aware that there's going to be a good few months until I can get some more time off. And it's also made me think about the direction that Chatty Designs is going into, and I've had to face some harsh realities. So this is my 2023 reset and rebooting for 2024. Old viewers will know that I love a good planner, and because one of my biggest things for this year is actually downsizing and pivoting Chatty Designs, it's meant that I've been able to purchase a Carpe Diem planner. Those of you that are familiar with planners know that these are already undated, but I also know now that the Filofax personal size diary fits in here too. So the plan is to have obviously the Carpe Diem as my business planner, because I don't need so much space now to write my notes, and I'm going to be able to combine both Chatty Designs bits in here and also client work too. And then I will use the Filofax inserts, which my wonderful mother-in-law buys me every year for Christmas, to write my personal bits and pieces in. I like to have mine split manually in two, so I have goals for the day on one side and then just things that I need to remember, so to-dos, events where I need to be, birthdays, etc. on the other. I treated myself to this rather beautiful rainbow one. It comes with a little Carpe Diem charm, and that was basically to cheer me up because I was feeling so glum about all the changes that I'm going to have to step into 2024 to do. Although it seems very doom and gloom, realistically, I took a bit of a back seat last year with Chatty Designs, and I have just gone through the finances for the year, and there wasn't so much of a decline in money as I thought there was going to be. Considering I have probably quartered the amount of hours that I was spending on Chatty Designs, there was only, I think, a 21% fall in revenue. So when you look at it across every year from when I started in 2013, it was definitely one of my smaller decreases, and it's just kind of taught me that I need to look at exactly what is selling and perhaps reshift my priorities onto that. I didn't actually launch anything new at all last year, so I suppose you could argue that's probably why things didn't go so well as they could have been. But those of you that have been around for a while will remember that 2022 I was doing everything possible to try and boost sales, and I just basically was fighting a losing battle. Last year my takings were down. Christmas, so November and December, were heartbreaking. I think I took a quarter of my usual revenue, even compared to 2022. But I've got to kind of face up to these significant changes and realise that unfortunately I've either got to draw a line under it, pivot, hands up if you're thinking of the Ross from Friends sketch. I know I do every time I mention that word. Or just kind of decide to roll with it. And I don't want to roll with it. So that brings us on to what didn't work for 2023. Probably the thing that didn't work the most is going to be not launching new items. This was a big oversight on my part, and going into 2024 is something that I definitely need to remedy. I also decided to try and over plan social media, and then when it came down to having to actually create the content for that, I was so overwhelmed I just didn't do it, which is why my social media channels have been quite blank for the last year. YouTube videos, I think I had a look through my YouTube studio and I am appalled to say I think I made 4 last year, which is awful, especially as I have just been told by YouTube that if I can hit my free videos within 90 days, I'm now able to be monetized. I have enough of you lovely viewers Thank you so much. And enough of my actual subscribers to make that happen. So that is definitely going to be something that I'm focusing on going into 2024. On a happier note, looking at things that did work, that were definitely the biggest top of the pile has got to be 2023 was the first year that I took my full 6 weeks of annual leave. I can't actually remember the last time, perhaps other than maternity leave, when I've done that, and it was amazing. I had a lot of trials and tribulations in my personal life, so being able to have some downtime has definitely helped me get through that. It enabled me to not do the usual December trick of suffering with burnout, so that's fantastic. I also had quite a few long weekends, which has been unheard of, and it's wonderful because GBT Junior has been at school on Friday, and although probably 90% of the days where I had planned to have them off, I ended up doing client work for at least an hour or so, it was still nice having that to look forward to at the end of the week. So where possible, I think that is definitely something I am going to take forward with me into 2024. Moving on to goals, I am now dividing my time between the physical planner and using my iPad. I have subscribed to GoodNotes, so I now have all of these wonderful kind of digital bits and pieces that I can flick back through, and it means that I don't have to have little notebooks on my shelf and forget where I've written things, and I can also search for items as well without having to scroll through it all, which is fantastic. So for GBT Designs, as I've discussed, I'm going to be scaling things back massively. So my turnover goal for 2024 is 10,000. That used to be like under what my profit for GBT Designs was for the year, so I'm being realistic. The last few years I have said I'm going to improve, I'm going to beat last year, and we're on a downward trend. It's not been happening, so I'm facing up to it and just setting a more manageable goal instead. And I'm hoping that being able to have this more realistic goal, it means that I'm going to be able to focus my time effectively. I'm going to be cutting back on the hours that I do spend on GBT Designs, so it's going to be mainly obviously filling orders, but there will be a few bits and pieces thrown in that I will be creating new items. Instead of looking at just this kind of scattergun effect of trying to create orders on what I think will sell, I'm actually looking at the data, and I can see that things that sell consistently for me are greetings cards. And although my sales have dropped off on platforms such as Thoughtful and Card Gallery, the odd few are still happening, and considering I don't really have that many of my designs on there, and I have been invited to I think on Thoughtful I've got something ridiculous like 50 spaces. They were impressed with my sales volume when I first joined, and then that was 2020 or 2021. I'm ashamed to say I haven't actually done anything with it, shockingly. So that's something I'm going to prioritise for 2024. My other goal is I want my website orders to, by the end of the year, be averaging 10 a month. Last year I did go through the figures, and I only just made a profit on running my website by the time we obviously had all the fees involved for that, and the actual materials to make and post the orders. There was a small amount of profit. That doesn't include an hourly wage for me, so I suppose you could argue that I didn't, or I was just about breaking even. But it's something that I want to look at. So SEO, especially Google AdWords, etc. It's not AdWords now, I can't remember what it's called now, but it's something that I want to try and take a Skillshare class on to try and hopefully start driving traffic to my shop. I am also hoping to have 5 wholesale orders. Last year I think I may have had 2. I did no work whatsoever. I am on Fair and Ankle Store, and I was making orders maybe every couple of months, 2020, 2021. and even the beginning of 2022, and then that just kind of tapered off and I did nothing more with it. So it's something that I would like to focus on. I'm being realistic. I think 5 wholesale orders across the whole year is definitely achievable if I kind of put my research, shall we say, and training in the right places. So the final goal for Chatty Designs is going to be 1 YouTube video a fortnight. As I mentioned earlier, I am on my way to being monetized, thank you. So I want to make the most of that. So if you have any ideas of videos you'd like to see from me, then definitely let me know, comment down below, that would be really helpful. I hope to be able to bring back the studio diary day in the life that I used to do. I haven't actually completed a studio vlog I don't think I did one last year at all. That was because I'd cut my hours and it just seemed like I didn't really have that much to film, but you know, I know that people do enjoy seeing me make the orders, so perhaps it's something I can do. And obviously if I'm going to be illustrating cards, I can take you through the process of creating those. And I still get so much love and comments and questions about printing greetings cards and just general printers from my Canon behind, so perhaps that's something that I can expand on. So I will definitely be looking at videos for that. I thought it might be nice to just share the small goals that I have for my other 2 businesses as well. Rescue Relief is my dental nursing agency, and at the moment it's been a bit of an up and down year. 2023 I found myself working at least 1 day a week nursing, so going out to practices and being on location. I'm going to be completely transparent here. I have developed a bit of anxiety around dental nursing. It's not so much the job itself. When I'm there, it's fine, but it's the anxiety over leaving the house and leaving Mr. Chatty Designs at home alone and having to worry about childcare and wraparound care for Chatty Jr. So it has been a bit of a struggle. It's something that has been brought up and I am speaking to somebody about, and we are trying to work through it. At the moment we are in the financial situation that I am going to have to go back to working at least 1 week away from home. It is hard. I do have nurses that work for me, but it is very difficult to find reliable nurses. I have one fantastic nurse who is absolutely amazing and I wish I could clone her, but unfortunately I have not been able to find enough nurses that are as good as her that I feel confident and happy giving the hours to. So the buck kind of falls to me. So from I think the beginning of October, November and December, I didn't nurse, which was fantastic. I think my last day was like the 14th of October, or maybe it's a bit later, I can't remember, but it was so lovely not having to nurse, and the anxiety around that and not having to deal with it was amazing. But unfortunately, as I've mentioned, I've got to get back into it. But going into 2024, or I should say we're in 2024, I have put my goal at having my nurses work 75 hours a week for the agency. It's not going to be anywhere near enough for me to have to give up nursing, but I'm hopeful that with some of the other changes I might be able to drop it, so maybe I only work 2 days a month through nursing. We will see. So that's my goal, 75 hours a month for my nurses to be working through Rescue Relief. And then my final business is obviously my PA work, and I was recently approached by another PA who's been in the industry far longer than I have. Some of you will remember I'm coming up to 18 months almost doing PA work. And I can't remember how we got onto the topic, but she asked about hourly rates and things, and I'm always transparent, so I told her, and she revealed that I am working for 50% of the average salary of a PA, because obviously I do agency work. I work for an agency and they obviously recruit me to find the work. So that was a bit of a shock. It's my own fault. Obviously I should have been having a look into this myself. But if I'm working for 50%, it means that I'm having to do 100% more work than I could be. And, you know, if I was getting double the amount, then I wouldn't have to go out and nurse. So my goal for my PA work is going to be, I'm going to launch myself as freelance, which is a bit scary because although, as I said, I've been doing it for 18 months, but realistically, the job and skills that I do, I've been doing since about 2009. So I'm very experienced. I hear from my clients that I'm fantastic. I've got some wonderful clients through my agency, and you know, I adore working for them. But I'm conscious because there's been a few things that they have said as well about knowing my worth and things to that effect, that perhaps I should be looking to push my own freelance career. So goal for 2024 is obviously to do that, and by the end of 2024 I want to have at least 10 hours a month of freelance client work. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, because although I'm excited, there are some things that, you know, are going to be great, such as the launching my own freelance PA work. Nerve-wracking but exciting. I'm also very, very sad about Chatty Designs because, as I said, with these more realistic goals, it is a little difficult not to just see it as a bit of a failure. And I know there have been so many amazing designers with huge followers that have sadly gone under in 2023. And I am thankful that I haven't completely gone under. Obviously, you all know I have had to return to work outside of Chatty Designs, which is heartbreaking, but I am still hanging on. It does make me sad. Because when I used to just work full-time at Chatty Designs, it never felt like work. And although, yes, I did used to get burnt out because of, by Christmas, I was working from like 6 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. at night, and I felt guilty because I wasn't around with my family and things like that. It was still amazing, and just the pride that I had in making sales all around the world and supporting my family with my small business. It was just a joy, and now not being able to do that, it is hard not to feel personally responsible. I know it's just the financial climate that the entire world is in. Etsy's undergone some big changes, you know, there's so much, so I know it's not on me, I know it's not my items, and it's hard. I am excited to see what 2024 is going to bring. I'm definitely excited to get monetized on YouTube. So I want to say a huge thank you, whether you are a new follower or you have been with me since the very beginning. It wouldn't have been possible. I think there's 1,400 of you now, which is just mind-blowing. I mean, I it still feels like yesterday that I was saying, oh my goodness, I've reached 50 followers, and now here we are on our way to 1.5k. So if you've just tuned in and you're not following me, I promise I am going to be uploading more this year. This is going to be the year. So hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you're going to be notified of all of these videos that I upload, and comment down below, what do you want to see from me? What are your goals for this year? Because I would love to know what worked for you last year, what didn't work for you, what are you going to bring into this year? And yeah, let's get excited, let's be positive, and I can't wait to speak to you all again next time. Bye.